Greetings, everybody. I want to welcome you to our fourth episode of the Compass Games Town Hall. I'm John Kranz, joined with Bill Thomas of Compass Games. We're looking forward to your feedback and your questions tonight, as always. First, before we get started, let me just go through some basic house rules and basic reminders, as I like to do for each and every episode that we hold. So as a reminder from the Compass Games website, if you please visit it on the home page, on the left column, a big yellow box. We'd love to have you to subscribe to our newsletter. All we need is your email address, and you'll be automatically subscribed, and that means you'll get one email from us on average per week, so we can give you the latest updates. And then, as promised, as always, in the lower right-hand corner where you see my little animated talk to me, that's where you can submit any questions or feedback you'd like for us. It's great questions that we get from you all, and we like to include those questions in these live town hall sessions. Even if you can't attend live, we've still got your questions that you present to us, and we like to cover those. So thanks again for doing that. And if you want to have more information on what the newsletter looks like that you get once a week, here's actually the newsletter we just sent out earlier this week. We announced on Tuesday that Brotherhood and Unity is now shipping. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment. So we had a really great response to that from the newsletter as far as how many people have visited the product page who received the newsletter. Also, I think a lot of people were surprised about the Assault Artillery, which is Volume 3 of Red Poppy's campaigns coming out next. And that's going to be coming out in August. So a lot of people, I think, were maybe unaware of that. And they're really excited to see the third game in the series coming in a month. And then Jacobite Rising is the next game that's going to be coming next month as well. And as a reminder, we do have our Kickstarter that's about getting ready to wrap up. We thank you now for helping successfully fund it. And we're really looking forward to that. I know Bill showed you the components to an Attrition of Souls last town hall meeting, and got a great response to that. And then, of course, we'd like to remind everybody what we're doing on Compass TV with what is this broadcast right now that we're doing. We always like to talk about the next live session, which is this one. And then also we talk about the last recording we did, which was we had Ernie Copley on, the designer of the War Europe, and also the designer of the War the Pacific, which is currently on pre-order, coming out later this year. And again, as always, a reminder, we're still keeping our sights and our hopes up for Compass Games Expo 2020. So more information about that where you can register. So again, just to summarize, we're very excited that Brotherhood and Unity is now shipping. I've seen on social media, people have been posting pictures of the game arriving. So thank you for ordering the game. Also on our pre-order page, here's our next release, Red Poppies Volume 3. So get more information about that if you can. There's still time to pre-order and save. And then, as I mentioned, our Kickstarter is down to less than 10 days on Attrition of Souls. But again, thanks to everybody for helping make it a successful Kickstarter. And if you've already pre-ordered the game, you don't have to do a Kickstarter pledge. You're already covered with the game. So with that, I'm going to shut up finally, and let's welcome Bill Thomas again to our fourth town hall.
You know what? I just wanted to say hi to everybody. Thanks for being here. And it's amazing that 2 weeks flies by. I'll tell you, it just seemed like yesterday we were talking. Before I forget, I want to give a shout out to Matt Chestnut, who made my day. So I wanted to just I hope he's on, because he made my day. He knows why he made my day. And I want to say I appreciated Matt. So Matt, I really appreciated what you did. And it did put a smile on my face. What I wanted to quickly do was take a few minutes, because I wanted to give people an idea who I am and where I come from. Okay, so I'm not gonna bore you, and then we'll get to the questions. Okay, my first war games were in 1978. I was starting my freshman year in high school. And my mom, I think I saw it in like a World War II magazine. SBI did advertisements in like a World War II magazine. I still have the magazine in the attic. Okay. And it was on the back. And I said to my mother, I go, I want to get one. So we went to a hobby shop in West Hartford, Connecticut, and she bought me 3. They were 1776 by Avalon Hill, Blue and Gray by SBI, and then Stonewall in the Valley by SBI. Those were my 3 first games. And then it all, well, you know, rest of that story. Okay, it never stopped buying games. Okay, what my trade, I graduated college in accounting. Okay, I'm technically an accountant, but I'm a businessman. Okay, I've had ownership in about 20 nursing homes at one time, long-term care facilities. I actually sold my ownership in those. Okay, right now I have four businesses I'm involved in. I actually have ownership in one long-term care facility. I actually have ownership in a long-term care pharmacy. I actually, obviously, you know about Compass Games, and I actually have ownership in a commercial janitorial business. So, business is what I do. Okay, I've actually turned around a few companies. Okay, that were on the verge of bankruptcy. Okay, and put them back into solving, put them back on the right track. So I wanted to let you know that I thought I was going to retire at 47 when I left the nursing home piece, but that really didn't happen because now I have four other businesses I work on. So so I just wanted to give you so that's who I am, and I couldn't have done it without my wife, who I met which it's kind of weird now. I think we'd be in jail because I was 17 and she was 15 when we met.
There you
go.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. It's like those movies. It's
Yeah,
like those Hollywood romance movies from the 80s about the kids that meet, in high school and they stick together. So I don't know too many people like that. That's pretty cool, Bill. Pretty cool.
And when we dated for like 7-8 years before we got married because I had a plan. I was going to go to college, get a job, and nothing was going to screw that up. And she's been wonderful. She's been supportive of the hobby. My hobby here, she's been great. So then I wanted to come that people say, well, Compass has been around since 2005. And it has. But the rebirth of Compass has only been 2.5. So I think in 2.5 years, we have been one of the premier companies in the industry in 2.5 years. And I wanted just to say to myself, because I'm going to congratulate myself, we have released a game, at least one, okay, game a month for the last 2.5 years. We've never missed a month. And 90% of those times we've released two. Okay, so I'll tell you, that's unheard of. Okay, so we started a new company really with Compass probably 2.5 years ago when I decided to embark on this adventure with John, Adam, and my son. Okay, Compass is a different company than it ever was 3, 4, 5 years ago. Okay, and we've had growing pains, and we're always learning from our mistakes. And sales this year is going to top the best year we've ever had. And we're already we've already done in 6 months what we did in 11 months last year. So when people say the hobby is dying, or do I think the hobby is not doing well, is all I can say to that is you have a company that wasn't around 2.5 years ago. We were around producing maybe 2-3 games a year. Okay, now we're producing 24 products, and the marketplace accepted it. Okay, because I'm a businessman. I wouldn't be doing this if we weren't in a good position. So I wanted to bring up a few of those things, and let's see. I'm reading some of these.
Yeah, I got some questions. Actually, I'm going to bring up some questions quickly. They're still coming in. So since you mentioned all the different businesses you've done, could you tell us a little bit, like, what's a day in the life for you now? Because it's hard for me to keep track. Like, you've had all these businesses and some you've gotten out of. And one of the questions actually was how do you cover, how do you schedule your day? How do you have time for everything? Like, how many current business concerns do you have right now? So you have Compass, and are there others that you have?
Yeah, right now I have 4. Okay, I'm actively involved in 3 of them. Okay, the long-term care facility I'm not actively involved in. Okay, I let my partners do that because I don't want to get back into that. Long-term care pharmacy, I'm the managing partner. Okay, so I oversee that. And I work with actually my brother is my partner in Charter Oak Building Maintenance, which is the commercial janitorial business. So I do some stuff there, but most of my time over the last 2 years have really been dedicated to Compass. Okay, because I truly believe you got to delegate, and I'm not a micromanager. So in the pharmacy, I have somebody who runs it day to day, and I go in there and check things out and on occasion. And like I said, my brother is really day to day. He's there full time at the cleaning company. So my day is really mostly Compass. I would say that's the life of Bill Thomas right now, is Compass, and trying to get it to where we want it to be.
What's your schedule? You wake up at 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m. What do you check first when you wake up? When do you wake up? What's your day? What's your day like on average? I know every day's different, right?
I got to tell you, which is my old thing. I don't, on a typical night, I don't get to bed until 11, 12 o'clock at night. And then I don't really, I'm like a light sleeper. Okay. And then I'm up probably about 5 or 6, maybe 7. Okay. But I do take a power nap every afternoon.
Now it's coming out. So that's why you don't respond to my emails and calls at certain times. You're asleep.
Okay, a power nap of maybe 35 to 45 minutes.
Oh, and there we go.
I guess that's a sign of old people. Okay. But yeah, no, the power nap really, so that's really my day.
So there's 2 questions I have since you've gone through your history of how you got started in gaming. How did you decide to get started in publishing, or was that a conscious decision when you started, say, back in 2005, or when you officially were Compass? What drove that motivation? I always ask designers what got them motivated to be a designer. What got you motivated to be a publisher?
Because one thing I've always done.
Oh, he's cutting out, folks. Hold on. He's taking a nap right now, but I promise I'll be back in a second. His internet's taking a nap. So once he's back, we'll have Bill here in a second. Clears up pretty fast. There you are. Okay. So we lost you there you were taking a nap there for about 20 seconds, Bill, or your internet was. So after we asked the question, what made you decide to get into publishing back in the day?
Well, what I always learned is I don't believe people are necessarily smarter than other people. I think business people, when opportunities happen, you take it. And what happened was I was at a convention. I was at a what do they call them? Where people gather.
Was it a game club?
A game club. And I heard the other 2 of my ex-partners say, "Hey, we want to start a game company." And they're talking between themselves. I interrupted and said, "Hey, I'm interested." And that's how that all happened. So was I out to do it? No. But, and like I said, it's been a hobby for 10, 12, 13 years until the last 2.5 years. And then I decided it was time to make it a business.
Okay. So next question I have to ask you as well. You said about 2.5 years ago, things sort of changed for Compass. You made some business decisions. And then with that, the product release schedule, I don't know what happened there. It just blew up. It just, I've had people come up to me when I was at Constant World Expo a few years ago, and they're like, "What's going on with Compass? All these games are coming out all of a sudden." So what was that pivot that happened just a few years ago to Compass? What decisions were made, and how did that come about?
The decision was made. I felt that there was an opportunity. I saw in my mind GMT moving away from old war games and moving more towards not Euro, but Euro
crossover.
Games.
Yeah, crossover.
And I said, no, I think there's a market for games, traditional war games, okay, that people want to play. And my thing was, nobody was doing big games anymore. Okay, nobody was doing 6 maps, 8 counter sheets. Okay, nobody was doing games on all different kinds of titles. So I thought there was an opportunity, so I said I'm doing it, and we brought you on board. My son came on board. Adam came on board, and like I said, we do go through growing pain, but I'll tell you, it's been a fun, and we're having a good time doing it.
So basically the decision you make is, I think a lot of people probably make the decision, oh, I want to publish, and maybe, like you said, traditional war games or bigger games, but maybe they only do one game a year or one game every 2 years. But so you were making a lot of other decisions about, staffing up. It sounds like you decided, I need to staff up. I need to find a way to get more people involved. And you said the word delegate, you need to get people delegated to get stuff done. So it seems like that had a big impact, that you were able to bring some people together, and that increased the output, in a large way, I think, for Compass 2-3 years ago.
And I do think a lot of it really falls on you, John. I think I wouldn't be here today, okay, if it wasn't for you, because you provided something that I wasn't good at. Okay, I'm not a marketing guy. That's one thing. I'm a finance guy. I can manage people, but when it comes to marketing, that is just something I'm not good at, and I'll admit it. Okay, you came on board and you just have taken it to a different level. Okay, me being here is a shocker. Okay, 2.5 years ago, if you told me I was doing town hall meetings, I would say,
no. I'm still unshocked. I'm still unshocked you're on camera right now. I'm very shocked about that. You didn't want to do even a seminar at like an expo event. You didn't want to do anything publicly at all.
Credit goes to you, John, because you were the missing piece for me, because I can do production. I can oversee that. I can oversee on finance. I can oversee managing people. I could never oversee marketing. To me, is intangible as a finance guy, and I just don't. I'm not a good marketer, and that's why the best thing we ever did was here's what.
Oh, lost you again. Sorry, everybody. I think everybody's used to Bill's internet cutting out sometimes.
Yeah. Yes, and you brought us to a different level. And then with my son coming in, you can hear me, right?
No, I can. No, we can't.
See ya.
Yeah, sorry. The internet's just being typical. What it is. No, I appreciate the kind words, and I'm grateful because yeah.
I told my wife I want to go to Affinity, because we got Comcast, Affinity, or Frontier. Frontier stinks. Okay.
Is that what you have now?
And I tell her, no. Yeah, Frontier. Know what her response to me is?
What?
She can't go because she tapes all these movies that she wants to watch, and she'd lose if we went to. So she goes, when I watch all my movies, we'll convert. She's got about 100 movies taped.
That is a problem. That's a real world problem. That's happened to me. Like, I switched, I think, from DirecTV, or I got a new model DirecTV receiver. I got an upgrade, and then I lost all my recordings. So I don't know the answer to that. I guess the obvious question is, can you take an HD? Can you take the drive or whatever it is outside of the, ouch. And you're changing companies too for the, because you got to have the TV bundle with the internet. So that's a great question. I don't know if anybody else has advice on what do you do when you switch providers and you've got the TV bundled? What happens to all those recordings? I think that's or maybe it's all on demand. You just have to go on demand, I guess. Try to get these things that are on demand, but maybe, unfortunately, maybe you have to pay for some of them. I guess that's the problem, right?
She watches 1920, 1930, and 1940 movies. They're not on demand.
That stuff's got to be free. Once you find it,
she doesn't want to lose them. So she watches them late at night, and she goes through, she watches one every maybe week. So that's where we are with that. But so everybody knows, we have the best package Frontier offers, and this is what great.
So we need to upgrade. I mean, we need to upgrade you, absolutely, because you do a great job, but and everybody understands. It's going to cut out. You can't do anything about that. But I'm sure it will be like light and day when you do make a switch. I'm sure we'll notice it without saying anything, that you won't have anything cutting out anymore. So let's get to some questions here. So I'm just going to go through here and scroll. I've got a lot of questions actually. So let's see here. So here we go. Yeah, here Richard Savage has got the right priority here. So I'm here to win a free game. So Richard, thank you for being so bloody honest. That is wonderful.
Yeah.
That is so refreshing. Some people are afraid to say what's on their mind especially these days. You don't want to say something to offend somebody, but Richard, more power to you. You just put it out there, man. So stick around. By the way, that means, so people that don't know this, at the very end of this session, as a way of doing bribery, out and out bribery, we're going to do a drawing, a raffle for a free game at the very end. So yes, absolutely. Jack had a question for me. I can find out what the intro music is, that 3-minute bumper. I don't have it handy right now, Jack, but actually, Bill Thomas does music on the side. That's his 5th job, and he actually prepared the bumper music for us himself. He plays about 5. I'm joking. So I'll find out for you, Jack. I can easily find out what it's about. So question for you from Rich, who's looking to get a free game tonight. So he's playing to your nice side here, Bill, because he wants a free game. He's asking, how about new maps for combat? I don't know if this means, Rich, sorry, new maps for the original combat. Is that new maps for the original combat or just future games or module maps? I don't know. I need a clarification on this. You know what?
I think what he's saying is he didn't like the maps.
Nobody says anything critical on this channel ever. What are you talking about? Okay, that's fair. Oh, here we go.
Like the map.
For Combat 2.
Oh,
for Combat 2, what's going to happen? So do we have maps yet to show for
no, we do not.
Okay, so great question. And then there's a related question. I think another question just came through. There's so many questions and I wish I could tag this. Okay, so any news on the future of the Combat series?
Yeah, Combat 2 is in the works. And it looks like Combat 2 is in the works, and looks like probably they're still working out some kinks, and they're going through the rule books and tightening things up. I would say probably first of the year that will come out.
First of the year it will come out. So yeah, just so everybody sees what we're talking about. Here's Combat. So this is being worked on right now. It's already on pre-order, Robert. Thanks for joining us from YouTube tonight. So yes, Combat 2, you might know about this already. And yeah, this is getting some rave. A lot of people are definitely love Combat and looking forward to this. So let's see if we can go push it a little further for Robert. Do you know what would come beyond Volume 2, Bill? Has there been any discussion yet about...
Yeah, we're looking to go into the Pacific.
Looking to go into the Pacific after Combat 2. So great. So there we go. So I think we've answered Robert's question. So Richard says, where this is how he qualifies. He's so thanks for your service, Richard. That's very cool. 74-year veteran. Very cool. Vietnam vet.
Wow.
So we'll have to sell him we'll have to give him a Vietnam game. He probably has the Vietnam games already, or maybe he wants something completely different. So yeah, very cool. Very cool.
That's why he's here tonight. Oh, huh? Oh no, I take that back. Forget that.
Okay, let's go to a real question. Andy says, none of this powder puff stuff tonight. He wants to see some real questions answered. So before we start, let's get to the real question concerning wargaming. Are you redoing the Fleet series? I'll let you answer that, Bill.
Yes, that's coming. We're finishing up Korean War, and then I think we're doing the 5th, right?
Yes,
the first one, the 5th Fleet.
We're starting with the 5th Fleet, everybody. So Bukowski spoke with him, talked about what title would make the most sense to start with, and Joe wholeheartedly said, let's do 5th Fleet first. So that will be the first one, which also answers the question. No, we're not putting 4 or 5 Fleet games in one box. They're going to be coming out one title by title. Yep. All right, so let's see here. For other questions and feedback, let me go through here. Here's a question from Joe Sheridan. For submitting game designs, what file formats do you need and how far in the development should it be? Do you want to start with that one, Bill, or want me to take it?
I'll let you take that one.
Okay, so Joe, what we typically do is we're always looking for designs and new designer submittals. And as you know, we had Christopher Davis on Compass Games Live. I think it was episode 34, who's really a new designer and really a youthful designer. And I think he's under age of 35, and people are really impressed with him. Just the introductions he's had on our broadcast, and also he was on oh gosh, Dan Picaldi's channel as well just a few days ago. So no enemies here is what Dan does. So Chris is, we're always looking for designs, in other words, and you don't have to worry too much about the file formats. I think that comes later. Really what happens is you have to contact Bill or I and let us know at Compass, what you have in mind. If it's something you've already done, if it's work in progress, or just want to bounce off some ideas off us, it covers the gambit, I think, Bill. We've got people with finished designs, or even designs that were published as deep print and play. It runs the gamut from ideas to throw at us to finished work, right? What'd you say? Do you agree with that?
Yes, I agree with that.
Okay, wonderful.
Your dog, I think, is doing a squeaky toy.
He's got a squeaky toy. I've got a French bulldog, and I won't say more than that. I think people know, they pity me already. But yeah, we have some French bulldogs on my feet right now. But so I'd say contact us, Joe. There's some great news that Bill doesn't know about. So I've got some new contracts signed for games that Bill has no idea what those games are. One's even a quad game, because there's all this question about, can you do more quad games? So we're under contract now with a designer to do a World War II Eastern Front quad game. And Bill doesn't know anything about it. As you can look at his face, he has no clue. And there's a few other titles that are getting signed as well, and Bill knows nothing about them. So as you can see, we work quickly, but to the serious point of how much time do you need to develop, that's a question I ask you. How much time have you spent with it? How many people have seen it? Have you done play testing? We go through all that privately. And then people say, how does Compass come out? How does Bill do 2 games a month, or 1 to 2 games a month? Well, it's like that iceberg metaphor. The tip of the iceberg, you see those 1 or 2 games a month. So maybe you think we're rushing things out, but it's further from the truth. We've got the whole rest of the iceberg is underwater. You can't see it. We've got games already in the pipeline. We've got 40 or 50 games. Some have been in the pipeline for 3 or 4 or 5 years, actively developed. So, we've every game we get, most of the time they've been developed for at least 1 or 2 years and play tested for 1 or 2 years. So that's my short answer, unless it's a reprint that doesn't need much work. Bill, do you want to add to the question about what you're looking for when you hear from people about, hey, is Compass interested perhaps in this or that? What are you looking for? Do you have any preferences yourself you want to share tonight?
Well, I'll tell you something. I know that we're doing another game in the No Peace
series, No Peace Without Spain series. Yeah.
And
he's going to come back.
Well, that's it.
Okay. Well, we caught that. It cut out again, but I heard No Peace series you were mentioning about. So that
out in that series.
Yeah. So we are looking for design submittals, everybody, just to let you know. We are always looking for designs and ideas. Absolutely. So thanks to those that have actually approached us. And like I said, we've got some new games coming that even Bill doesn't know about. So it's really great to hear from you, and please keep the ideas coming. We'd love the chance to work with you. Let's see here. An important question for Bill here. Last time I went to Applebee's with some friends, a woman who has a giant crush on me tried to pick out my meal from a 2 for X menu. Was I right to run? So if people are curious about this whole Applebee's thread, we had a little, I don't know, how do I put it? We had a little chaotic episode around Applebee's. Bill said something a little insensitive.
No, but I took it back. Number one, I'll be honest, I retracted that. Okay. And secondly, we looked. Applebee's is not big in Connecticut. There's only like 4 or 5 Applebee's, or maybe 6. We looked it up tonight because I actually, like I said, I owe Matt Chestnut a great shout out again, because we actually got something in the mail from Matt Chestnut today.
What is it? Can you share?
Well, I will, because nobody asked me the first time. It was actually a gift card.
A gift card
to Applebee's.
A gift card to Applebee's. Awesome. That is great. So, you have it there with you? Do you have it there with you somewhere? Can you actually prove it? You've got it somewhere?
Well, I don't know if Matt really wants this online, but
Well, don't show. You could cover up the amount. I'm sure it's $1,000 coupon. I'm sure it's $2,000 coupon. That's all Applebee's offers.
can you see it?
That's awesome. Perfect. Well done. Can't see the price tag on it. Very, very tastefully done. Love it.
Appreciate it. It put a smile on my face when I got it.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Okay, so let me throw a few more questions at you here. You touched upon already, the success of Compass Games this year, how things are looking from a business standpoint. Here's a question that was submitted actually a few weeks ago, but we never got to it last episode. And here's the question. After watching the latest Compass video, I was curious. What is your thought on the health of our hobby? You mentioned some might feel it is dying. Do you see younger gamers being attracted to this hobby when you go to shows or conventions? So just general comments about the future or the state of the hobby, maybe outside of just the revenue consideration for Compass, but just more in general. What do you think?
No, but I think that you had a new company and relatively new ramp up production 2.5 years ago, and the hobby supported it. So that is a good. If there wasn't enough, if the hobby was dying, the support wouldn't be there for us to be where we are today. So I think that's a good thing that the hobby is not dying. I don't see new people when I go to conventions, meaning young people. Okay. Yeah. But I actually get calls from like mothers and stuff who are ordering games for their like 13, 14-year-old kid or child. So I think there is a group of people that are playing these games that are young. And we had that designer on the other week who was like 35. And
yeah, even younger. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, that's like 40 years younger than you.
Yeah,
right.
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. Exactly.
So I think the hobby is doing well.
All right, great to hear that answer. So feedback from Combat Series. So very happy, Richard, about the Pacific. Yay on the Pacific. And then Robert concurs. They're happy to hear that for Volume 3, we're looking at the Pacific. So that's great. Let's see here. Questions on status of games for you, Bill. When will the Europe reprint be released? The War Europe by Ernie Copley.
Yeah, that will come out around the same time as the Pacific.
Same time as the Pacific. Yeah, that's a great answer. So that sounds really good because people who buy the Pacific who don't have Europe will now get them at the same time. So that's very cool. Great to have John Allison on. Great to have you, John, on Facebook. Done some great work in the hobby. John's asking, what about status? This is the release status for John Southard's Conquistador. And I think we just lost video, Bill. Maybe he'll come back and post. Okay, yes, timing for Conquistador. Let's try again on timeline.
Yeah, I would say that is going to be sometime in September, October. We actually have it.
Oh, that's big news. Hold on here. Hold on. So we just had an important person in the hobby, John Allison, done some great work with some games. You're actually going to tell John that the game is done and he can't touch it it's like you're holding it.
Because I'll tell you why. There's a reason. Okay. I have come to a conclusion that I cannot and will not release more than 2 games a month. Okay. And that's really, I think everybody knows I have games sitting in the warehouse. Okay. And I just won't do it because I don't want to overburden people. And it really works. 2 games a month is what we do. And it's really become our signature release stuff. So Conquistador, and we're going to put that on Kickstarter.
Yeah, absolutely. Kickstarter as well. Yeah, makes sense.
One that will pick up. So, we just got that one in. That got delivered like last week with 4 or 5 other games.
Don't mention the other 4 or 5 games. We'll never get out of this thing alive. Okay, we're just going to stop right there. We're going to stop you right there. But good point. Again, that helps us actually. So when we work on games, and some games, sometimes they'll require more time than we thought, or we just, we need to do some more development, or just the timelines change or shift. So it's nice to always have games in our back pocket that, we can set the schedule with. So there's no undue pressure on, oh, we've got to get a game out this month or next month. We don't have that problem.
And what that does is the games that aren't really further along in development, I can say, okay, hold back another year on those because I don't need them. So that gives us the opportunity to rearrange. I just got Battle Hymn 2. I just talked to Eric Lee Smith today.
Oh, the design, the submitted design. Yes.
It's moving along. Okay. Yeah. He said he's going to be able to hand it in. Now remember, that is Bentonville, Shiloh, and an add-on to Gettysburg and a solitaire
it's adding a solitaire
module.
Yep, solitaire module.
Yeah, both Battle Hymn 1 and 2. And that looks like he's going to find that's been a long process. But he's been play testing it, developing it. So it looks like that's going to be ready to go to artwork probably October.
Great.
So
great.
that's finally coming. But those are the ones that there's a lot that we think are ready, but then we sit down and say, oh my God, they're not ready. So they have to go to the back of the bus, and it takes time to get it done. So that's why I always thought it was important that we always have the ability to release 2 games a month. Okay, so that's my and before I forget, I think, and I might be wrong, I think I'm having an interview done on Tuesday.
Oh yeah,
right?
I think Mo can probably chime in here, perhaps. And
I think he asked, "Is there anything? Can I ask you anything?" And I said yes.
Oh, he's brave. Wow.
Yeah, so he's asking to me.
So we'll get the date. Mo will Maurice Fitzgerald, by the way, Mo's Gaming Table. Please check out his YouTube channel. It's awesome. Oh, this is great. So let me zoom in on you here, Bill, so you can show this. Back it up towards you a little bit. There we go. Now we can see the full. Oh, that's perfect. Perfect. So there's the Conquistadors, and the designer. Remind us who the designer is for Conquistadors.
John Southard.
John Southard. That's awesome. He's we've missed him in the design world.
Should I play John Southard?
Oh, now I've got Alexa and Amazon talking to me about John Southard. Alexa, shut up. Okay, sorry. I got Alexa and French Bulldogs. I'm losing here. But yeah, hopefully, I think Mo, we're gonna market and mention Mo's episode with you coming up to make sure people are aware of it. And as you mentioned, there we go. So so everybody knows, and this is coming up in 5 days. So on Tuesday, we've got Bill Thomas on with Mo's Game Table at 7 o'clock Central Time, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. So perfect on Tuesday night.
There's like 156 cards in this game.
156 cards. So we're talking about Conquistador right now. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Matt was asking, is that a Berg game? So you know what? Great question, Matt, because Berg did Conquistador for SPI, and yeah. So, but this is actually John Southard. This is John Southard. Yeah. Absolutely. So great.
Yeah, nothing to do with that game.
Right. And you're gonna show more?
Charts.
Okay. Sort of. Yep. We can sort of see that. Got to back up a little bit towards you. Yep. Got some nice.
And it has a solitaire game to it.
Has a solitaire game to it. Perfect. Perfect. Yep. Looks good.
Charts.
A lot of charts. You got any counters or anything? Or look at these are the nice
big counters.
Rounded corners already, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, these are rounded corners. But they're thick. So that's good. Another counter sheet.
Yep.
So I'm doing better than last
yeah.
Where at least
you're holding them back a little bit. Yeah, you don't want to get too close to the camera, else we won't see it all.
Oh, there's 4 counter sheets. Wow.
There's 4 counter sheets. There we go. They look great. No, nice oversized, professionally, extra thick, rounded.
Yeah. Now what people will see, okay, which some people like, some people don't, okay, is when I get these, okay, I sit down and I go through one last playthrough. The game's already done.
Right.
Okay. And I will go through one. I'll set it all up. I will try to catch things that we missed. So what will happen is when people see that when they get a new game from us and there'll be like 3 or 4 errata things, that's because this is my final try to catch stuff. So there was like 3 or 4 things I caught on Conquistadors that we actually, and you're going to have an errata sheet in it.
Okay.
Or I don't call them errata. I call it like a clarification because they're not errata. They're a clarification. And the other thing is what that means is when that happens, because these games come from China, so they're all boxed, they're all shrink wrapped. Okay. So what has to happen then is I have to reopen every box. I have to put the sheet in there.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I have to have it all shrink wrapped again.
And can you remind us, Richard's asking, is Conquistador got a mounted map?
Of course it does.
All right, Richard, there you go. Richard, you're getting your mounted map. So this is like a deluxe. This is deluxe. As Bill mentioned, we do everything stateside in the USA, unless it's a one mapper with mounted maps, with the counters the way they are with the rounded edges, super size. It's like those European crossover style games, fancy games on Kickstarter, etc. So that's what we. Very nice, very nice. So full mounted map. Map looks great. Looks great. Oh, there's 2 maps, right?
Yes.
2 maps. Okay, shoot. Right. Learn something every day. There you go. Looks impressive. I mean, even from here, looks great.
It's a good game. I enjoyed it. See, and I go through all the cards. I got to make sure they're all right. But all that is done.
Yep, John's right. John called it. Yes, I'm going to have John Southard on as a guest in a future episode. We're going to time it where we get closer to the release of Conquistador, John, just so you know. So absolutely going to do that. Richard says you did your job tonight. Bill, you can stop now. He says sold. So yes, it's available for pre-order. It'll be on Kickstarter later, but yeah, so he's excited. I'm excited. I mean, it's great to have John Southard back. And somebody asked earlier about Carrier, another design.
Or whatever. He's working on Philippine Sea. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Philippine Sea.
Exactly. So the question was, is Carrier going to get reissued from John Southard? And the answer is no, we're not reissuing that game. Maybe somebody else is, but Philippine Sea is a game that we're working on with John Southard. He's been playtesting it for over a year, at least. So
more than that.
Yeah, more than that, a few years. Exactly.
That's been like 2-3 years.
Yeah. He showed it at Expo, that was a year and a half ago already. So yeah, absolutely. So great stuff there. Thanks for showing it, Bill. So let me go to another question here. How do you decide when a game goes into Paper Wars versus a one-mapped box edition game? How do you make that determination? What's your thought process? Because obviously with Paper Wars, you can do we do a lot of single map games in Paper Wars, but we also do single map box games.
Yeah, there's very few games and one that put in a box.
Yeah. Okay. So
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's really.
And then I think Paper Wars, we can cover a lot of. We also cover a lot of obscure topics in Paper Wars too, or we like to be able to do that with Paper Wars.
We do a lot of obscure topics for our box games too, so that's not.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's not really. I mean, yeah, we
shy away from box. I think it comes down to we don't do a lot of one map, one counter sheet box games. So if they're really one map, one counter sheet, they really go into we really do paper. I think the only one we ever did was African Campaign had 2 maps. So
yeah, that's true. And then Brian's concerned if he buys Conquistador, will protesters break into his house? I get the question. I get it. Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
But that again, this won't be out for we gotta go Kickstarter and stuff like that. So this won't be out until hopefully things calm down a little bit.
Yeah, hopefully things will calm down a little bit, and obviously it's the history of the things that we're doing. So we're gonna pray for Brian. We'll pray for Brian and his safety when that happens.
Nobody has to buy 2 games. So
that's true. Yeah.
I'm expecting a pre-order for 2.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Brian. We didn't answer your question correctly. So, if you buy Conquistador, will protesters break into your house? Yes, the answer is yes, they will. Unless you buy at least 2 copies. Okay,
No,
so
break into his house, but they're only going to take one.
yeah, exactly. They can have one, and they can, they
Have it on
can.
the table and say, "You're right. Here you go," and then
Yeah,
you have the other one.
right. They can treat it like an HDTV. They can claim it as an HDTV, like what usually happens. And so Brian, I think that's good advice. But no, seriously, on a serious point,
Oh no,
we're all about historical events. Is there a bad side to everything? Yes. Are you playing the Germans in World War II? Are you playing the South in the Civil War? I mean, come on. I mean, it's educational. We're talking about education and recreation. We're not talking about solving the world's problems tomorrow. But Brian, I totally get your question, Brian. I totally get your question.
okay, I knew there was something very important to say tonight. Okay. Our website. Somebody asked if we have an IT guy. Yes, we do. And he is revamping the website. Okay. So you know, we're going to have a new website pretty soon. Okay. He's been working on it for 5 months, 6 months. Okay. So it's going to be more user friendly. And the pre-order system, I got to explain what happened there. Okay. Try Celery, which was the old pre-order system. Okay. And people who had, and remember that snafu where we somehow it charged people for the game back in January that weren't ready to come out. Okay. That system is gone. They discontinued the website. So if you had any of those Try Celery, probably any pre-order you had prior to June of 2019, you won't see it on your account. It's wiped out. Okay, because it's linked to Try Celery, which is no longer there. Okay, but if you paid for it, okay, we have record of it. So don't worry if it doesn't show up and you've paid for that game, you're going to get it. We have records. Okay, we have it all. It just doesn't show up in your under your account. Okay, so Try Celery accounts are now if in January it charged and it failed, those you got to do a new pre-order. Okay, because those pre-orders are all gone. Okay, but if you actually paid for the game back in January for those under Try Celery, it's all, we have it, and as the games ship, you'll get those. Okay, now Gumroad, we have a lot of people that don't like our new pre-order system. Now remember, we had to choose a pre-order system pretty quick because Try Celery a year ago said, hey, we're not going to let you take new pre-orders. They kept the old ones until about 30 days ago, and then they just discontinued the website. Okay, so we went to Gumroad. The problem with Gumroad is you can't make it ridiculous. The security thing that they put in. So if you wanted to change your address, if you want to cancel the pre-order, you can't do it. Okay, so you have to just contact me and I cancel it right away, or change address. Now the new system that we're going to will carry over those Gumroad pre-orders, so you don't have to worry about that. And we're trying to get the Try Celery paid back on, and the new pre-order system is going to be wonderful. Okay, it's actually going to be, you can go in there, change it, you can go in there and do whatever you want. And that will be when the new website goes up. So is all I'm trying to say is when you go on your account and you see that your pre-orders have been wiped out from the pack from Try Celery, they have, but you're all set. If you paid for it, you're going to get it. We have the documentation, but if you didn't pay for it, you have to pre-order again under the new system. So we're working on the website. We're going to make it more user-friendly. And like I said, that should be up probably October, November, because our IT guy is working on it.
Sounds good. Thanks for the update, Bill. Appreciate that. A few more comments in here, and then we'll probably start getting ready to wrap it up, and we'll do the free game drawing here last. Thank you, Robert, for joining us on YouTube. Robert says Compass Town Hall equals wargaming goodness with a smiley face. So thanks so much, Robert, for being here. We really appreciate the positive comments. We really like having the chance to interact with you guys. We like to see what your questions and feedback are. It really, like we do this every other week, so it's just great. We miss not being able to do this more often, so it's always great being able to come in here. Let's see if there's some other questions in here. I'm just going through. Eric makes a good point about Conquistador. Yes, that's why you have war game insurance. So if anybody, Eric has the smartest response, so Eric wins the prize for smartest answer. And then Richard comes back, says, "Now they'll just burn it." So yeah, you can't win. You can't win anyway. Can't win in this situation, like Matt says. You just can't win. But hey, we're trying. We're trying to have fun and have a good time. So here we are. Question as some people are having a hard time with America Bomber, but it's just a game. Besides defending America is coming out. So that's actually a good point. So to be honest, I've only seen one comment like that about since we're talking about sensitive topics. I saw one comment about talking about America Bomber specifically, saying, "Oh, you're doing games like America Bomber. That's, are you sure you want to do that?" And again, it's a hypothetical, and a lot of people have an interest. There's a lot of hypotheticals done like this in the past, and then we have Defending America. So actually, you get to flip the coin and play the Americans. So that's a pro-American thing, right? You get to. It's like the Bugs and Starship Troopers. You get to try to nail those nasty little suckers from America Bomber. So again, it's we can split too many hairs here, but yeah, we try not to take things too serious, except for our game projects. We want to do a quality job with the projects, make sure they're in some way entertaining and insightful. And to be honest, Greg did a historical research on America Bomber. So there were plans that were made by the Germans. From the Azores. They had the bombing targets already identified, which Greg researched. You'll see it. You'll see that research. You'll see that research in the game, as well as a bibliography. So even a topic like this, you might think is tongue-in-cheek, wasn't approached as a tongue-in-cheek topic at all. It was something that seriously could have possibly happened with an alternate, outcome during World War II. So that's how Greg approached it. So great comment from Michael for sharing that. Do you want to add anything to that, Bill, at all, or are you good on that one?
No, I'm good on it because it's a game. That's all it is.
That's like what Mo said. Like Mo says, it's maybe, yeah, I'd love to solve all the world's problems. I mean, I guess everybody's got a different definition of what the world's problems are and what the priority is. But yeah, let's say we can solve all the world problems. I wish could be true. But in the meantime, we're trying to enjoy the one life we have here on Earth. We're trying to make the most of it and be respectful to other people. And we have a great community. So that's really what it's about. So now Robert's asking about, since we brought up bugs and these evil things like bugs and Starship Troopers. So what about a bookcase remake of Starship Troopers? Unfortunately, I think that's with Hasbro, Wizards of the Coast, and we would never be able to get it. And I think a lot of people have done games like this where you don't really need that. I know it adds some cachet to have the film title Starship Troopers. It was a movie, Hollywood movie. But yeah, it's like, I think it could be done without saying Starship Troopers. I'd love to see something like that. I think even Christopher Davis mentioned he'd like to do a pretty detailed science fiction game, I'll say like a Starship Trooper. So I think Christopher Davis might be looking to do something like that for us, which is like a more serious level simulation of a Starship Trooper type situation. So yeah, that will be interesting. Let's see. So I think one last question I had for you, Bill, I'll bring up, and we'll see if there's any final questions here, is how's it been going with Ty Bomba? Any contact with Ty Bomba? He sort of completed his first, I don't know how many days, 60 days or whatever the amount of time has been with Compass.
Working on it.
How's it? Yeah, how's it been going for him? Anything you can report on the Paper Wars front with and how it's going for Ty Bomba at all that you want to share? It's moving along. Okay, moving along.
And the funny thing is, okay, and I'll just bring up our best seller this year, okay, is Stellar Horizons.
Oh, yeah.
Stellar Horizons is going to be out of print.
Yes.
Bill, what? Probably in the next 3 weeks. Okay, we're down to really few copies right now, and we're going to stop doing them to distribution. Okay, but Stellar Horizons has to be the fastest one from release date to, and we just started shipping to distributors probably 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. and we're going to be that was unbelievable. The other one that is done very well for us this year is Folder Gap. Folder Gap is probably 80 to 90% sold out at this point. Okay, so
Okay.
so
Folder
those
Gap.
are right. We'd say, right, Bill, those are our two best sellers that are very extraordinary. The other ones are good sellers, don't get me wrong, but those are leading the pack in the first 6 months of the year.
Great. Okay. And then Robert's asking, when is the next Compass Games sale? I know we do a huge sale if Compass Games Expo would happen. We talked about that at the last town hall meeting, but can you share a little bit about when folks can expect, say, a regular sale, Compass Games sale online, or I would mention the catalog, I guess, here.
What we're doing is we're doing the catalog, and the catalog we're going to actually get out hopefully at the end of September. And it's going to be a little different this year, okay? Because I've sort of symmetrically, I didn't like, not that I didn't like, but the catalog, you had games that were listed that were very non-diagonal, okay? And it wasn't symmetrical, okay? You might have France 1944 here, and then something here and something there. And so we're trying to make it more symmetrical so it's easier reading. Okay, and that looks like we're going to start mailing at the end of September, and we're going to do something different this time. Okay, we're going to have different pricing. Okay, usually we do 35% off. Okay, but what we're going to do is some games will be more than that. Okay, specific games will be more than that.
Very nice. Very nice.
And I don't think we're going to go with the code anymore. Okay. With the holiday, you know what I'm saying? I don't think we're going to do that where you have to enter the catalog code. It's a good way of tracking it for us, but you'd be amazed at how many people miss it. And I have to go back and send them I have to do the discount myself to them because they miss doing that. Gotcha. So I don't think we're going to do and I might change my mind. So this is
sure.
I don't use where you have to do a catalog code.
Okay.
But now if you've never gotten a catalog from us, if you have, you're already on the list. If you've never called, email me at sales@compassgames.com so we can put you on the list. Okay, if you've never received one before.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, just email us and we'll get your mailing address. We'll get you the wonderful catalog we send out, which is very popular.
Out to our foreign customers because of the cost. So
shipping and
interesting, we're in the last 3-4 months we picked up a distributor in Russia. We've picked up a distributor in Australia and New Zealand, which we never had before. Okay, so that's all because the customers are going to people and saying, "Hey, why don't you carry Compass Games?" So we're getting a lot more distributor orders. So I thank everybody for that.
All right. Yeah, just thumbs up to the crowd. So some comments there I had to share because your internet cut out right at the important part again. We were coming to a conclusion. So yeah, sorry guys. We'll get a better internet going pretty soon. So Bill's already working on that, and he's very good at solving problems in a split second. So it won't be a problem at all. So your Stellar Horizons comment actually caught a lot of late interest here. I know we've gone past the hour, so thanks for hanging tight for the drawing, guys. So are you considering doing more science fiction games considering the success of Stellar Horizons? I did mention I mentioned one already about Christopher Davis, but yeah.
But we actually have an expansion kit for Stellar Horizons.
Yeah, that's right here. Ardwolf is asking that. And by the way, thanks to have Ardwolf on here. And please check out his channel. He does some great videos, live streams. He does it all. Unboxings. He does the whole gamut. So yeah, definitely we have the expansion already in the works. As you can see, Bill's got a business mind, and when he sees something that's working, like a battle hymn or you name it, combat, etc. We're gonna follow up on that success because it's what you guys want. We know it's what you guys want to have, so we're gonna work on that. So absolutely. So let's see. Oh, here's I'm going to throw some interesting comments in here. As a native Philadelphian, American bomber gives me an existential crisis from time to time when it gets nuked, undoubtedly knocking out my 3 grandparents who weren't off fighting the war. Yeah, that's a very good point. That's I hear what you're saying. I mean, I haven't played a war game that has Ventura, California on it, my hometown. So I get that whole vibe you're talking about, Vexed. So Vexed on YouTube, thanks for that comment. Absolutely. So Jack asks a great question. More details about this new World War II East Front game. I think somebody else was asking about that as well. Let me see if I can find the question. Yeah, here it is. So Martin's also asking, any idea what the battles will be in the East Front quad? Yeah, they're going to be East Front battles, just to let you know. So that's what they're going to be. So I know I'm being really rude. I'm not as mean as Bill, though. Bill's like showing product that's done that you guys can't even have yet. He's just holding on to. So don't say I'm being a mean guy here. I'm the nice guy. Well, I'm setting the bar for nicety while you're holding games back from our valued customers. You're holding back happiness.
Okay, but I got a question for you. Karkov, it's not okay. What, it doesn't have Karkov in it, right?
I don't think so. Okay. Don't forget, there's like 3 different Karkov battles, but I know. Okay, I'll let a little bit out of the bag. There's going to be, I think Kursk is going to be. I know Kursk, maybe 1 or 2 Kursks are going to be in there.
Yeah, because we've done, and I've actually had enough because we got too many Karkov battles coming out.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I think it's like Kursk. I know Kursk is going to be in there and stuff like that. Karkov doesn't ring a bell.
Karkov, the Fall Blau, is actually, oh my God, and it's been in, now there's one that's been in development for years. Okay, we've had to keep pulling back, but it actually is finishing artwork as we speak, and it will go to production probably within a month or 2. So that's actually on the road to be coming out, and that's probably. That one is the longest one we've had on pre-order.
Yeah.
Okay, because again, it wasn't ready. And so that's good news for people who like that.
Yeah. Mo, we want to get Mo a copy of Stellar Horizons. Yep, actually, that game's going to sell out. Mo's selling. Mo, you're going to have to work Bill next week on Tuesday night. You're going to have to work him over so you can get Stellar Horizons, because Mo doesn't have Stellar Horizons yet. That's a critical, that's a break in our system. That's a critical point of failure there. So Mo, you've sold Mo on Stellar Horizon.
Wow. So. We're all sold out. We have none for him. But did I tell everybody about Silent War? I think I did, right?
Mention it again. I think you talked about it before about a deluxe, but you can mention it again.
Moving along. That will be in production probably in the next 2 or 3 months. So what people don't get is there's a lot of things that are going behind the scenes that we don't even have up on pre-order. So
this commercial break is brought to you by Bill's horrible internet service. Sorry, guys, just having fun with it. He'll be back. Yeah, there he is. He's back now. Sorry, we lost you there, Bill. You were. I'm glad we're doing science fiction themes because you just got teleported to another universe and we lost you for 15 seconds. It was probably like 5 years in your time, so you probably got 100 new titles for us that are going to be coming out next month. But yeah, we lost you. You got teleported there. So more questions before we lose you again. So let's see here. Somebody had an interesting question for you, Bill. And actually it was, if I can find it. Yes, here's a nice question from Eric. I'd like to pick on people, actually. So great question from Eric. Does Bill Jr. have anything to say tonight?
Of course he does.
Okay, well,
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. He can't be on. No. Bill has nothing to say. He can't even roll the dice tonight. All you can see is his hands.
He's got a great ice hockey beard.
Yeah.
So he should show it. I think I'm really impressed with what he's done. I think it took 4 months, and I'm a huge ice hockey fan. So like a lot of these guys, like if you think of Stanley Cup playoffs, which knock on wood will somehow happen soon, they're going to try to do it. everybody can't shave. They don't shave once the Stanley Cup starts. So I think sort of Compass has done their own Stanley Cup, and I think Billy should demonstrate how he's committed to the cause. So I think Billy should really say something just for a moment, just to show how he's committed to the Compass, Stanley Cup mode of working, because he's got a lot of game projects. He could probably talk about a game project for like 30 seconds. He's got a lot of them. Devil boats, or whatever. So you want to talk about devil boats or whatever, but we need some ice hockey. Here we go. So we got the ice hockey. We got the Stanley Cup look going. So Billy, serious question from Eric. So Eric, by the way, Eric Farago is working on Third World War series. He's got Manchurian Front, doing some great stuff. He's one of our stars of our project team for sure. So he wants to know, what can you share about some projects you've been working on last few weeks?
Well, we got Devil's Boat that is being done in production. And that one was done by Joe Carter. It's kind of like Night Fighter and Interceptor Ace and those types, but it's with boats, obviously. What else do I have?
That's a solitaire. So that's a pure solitaire.
Yeah, PT boats and the Solomons.
I do have a game that it's kind of in the Ancients.
Oh yeah, that's a good game.
Era, we need more Ancients games. What's the Ancients game all about? What's that one? It's
like it goes for it's a wide. It's like it's like a huge span of time that just goes through, and there's it's mounted map and everything, thick counters. I don't know what else. Sequel to Blue Water Navy is being worked on now.
Blue Water Navy sequel, perfect, great.
He's got another game that he's working on as well.
I think you're doing a project. Is it called Kill Shot, or what's it called? Sniper Kill?
Sniper Kill Confirmed.
Sniper Kill Confirmed.
Yeah, it's an interesting game. It's different. It's nothing like we've ever done before. And that one's being worked on. I think I just assigned Bruce Urian, the artist, for that one. He hasn't done anything yet for it, but it's being worked on. And that's basically it.
How many game projects right now are you working on in various stages, would you say? How many projects?
Maybe, I don't know, it could be 7 to 10.
7 to 10. Man. Keep it coming.
Plus, I'm the one that puts together the catalog as well.
Yes, you do a great job with the catalog. Absolutely.
So I'm working on that at the moment too. So, yeah, that's it. Other than that, very exciting.
Yeah, thanks for being here. And you didn't cut out once on internet like your dad Bill did. So maybe you could teach your dad a few tricks of how to properly do a broadcast without getting teleported all the time. So let's do some dice rolling. I just want to thank everybody again for staying with us. Gosh, it's such a great crowd. We have over 60 people tonight who stayed over an hour. I'm interested to know what time zones people are in, how early in the morning it is, perhaps for some in Europe and other places, but probably can't post that right now because we have to pick a number between 1 and 100, because Bill's going to roll dice between 1 and 100, and we're going to pick a winner. Do we know what we're doing a drawing for tonight? Somebody said you should do a drawing for Applebee's coupon, but I didn't know if you want to do an Applebee's gift card as a giveaway, or maybe a board game as a giveaway. What do you want to do tonight, Bill?
No, I'm not giving my Applebee coupon away. Why would I give it away?
You're not going to give up your Applebee coupon. Okay. Darn, I tried. Okay. Oh, I guess I'm not eligible to participate, unfortunately.
Okay. Brotherhood and Unity.
Oh, nice. Okay. So
Brotherhood and Unity.
Yes, that's awesome. So let me just show this for a second. So yeah, right here above me. So this just people are starting to receive Brotherhood and Unity. So guess what, everybody? Warm up your mouse and your keypad, because we're going to do a giveaway for Brotherhood and Unity, our latest, brand newest, neatest release ever. Mounted map, cards, everything. So with that, before we start, what I need everybody to do, or don't do this yet, because we haven't done this too often. Everybody's going to pick a number on Facebook and Twitter between 1 and 100. Okay, 1 and 100. We're rolling 2 10-siders. So between 1 and 100. But the trick is I need everybody to pretty much enter their number at the same time. And it gets messy because there's a big time lag of about 15, 20 seconds at least. So this is where we have to be patient. So I'm going to do a countdown. When I'm done with my countdown, I want everybody to do 2 things. 1, Don't post about anything else. Stop all your posts and comments. Don't do any comments. I only want to see a number between 1 and 100 from everybody who's online. And we have over 60 people right now. If they're paying attention, we have a lot of people. So I'm going to count down now. No more posts, no more comments, please. And we're going to count down now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Everybody enter a number. No comments other than a number between 1 and 100. And this is going to take at least 30 seconds to a minute because we want to be fair to everybody. So we're now going to wait, and don't look on the comments. You should just think of a number. And trust me, it's not going to work with so many people. You're not going to be able to strategize and try to do like the Price is Right here with just 3 contestants and do 1 penny less. So let's see the numbers coming in here. And there's a delay, so we have to wait for the delay. So let's see. And I have nothing, just to let everybody know, I have nothing showing up yet in the stream because of the delay. So it's the delay is probably at least 30 seconds tonight. So we're just going to have to wait.
It seems like you still talk for 3 hours.
Yeah, no comments yet. Still waiting.
Can I just say something? How do you continue to talk and you really don't say anything?
Oh, it's much years of practice. years of commitment. So while we're waiting for people to put in their numbers, because the lag here is horrible, just a reminder again, Brotherhood and Unity. Also, the next game that's going to be released is right here. It's again the next series, Volume 3. Artillery Assault Artillery is going to be the next release of the World War I series, and then also the War Pacific is the last interview we did. So the last Compass Games live episode we did with Ernie Copley was about the Pacific. So again, just a reminder there, that was me just killing time, Bill, because I've only got 2 numbers. Okay, the numbers are starting to come in slowly from Facebook. Oh, there's YouTube numbers. Oh, just a bunch. Oh, we just had a bunch of numbers coming. All right, a bunch of numbers are coming in here. So that's probably about 25, 30. So yeah.
Oh my God.
So again, Red Poppies. I didn't say the title. Sorry, guys. I meant to say Red Poppies Campaigns, Volume 3.
Red Poppies.
It's called Assault Artillery. So I'm just waiting. Let's give it a few more seconds, Bill, because there's still a delay. We've got a lot of numbers for sure. Nobody's voting twice. Nobody's entering a second time. Please don't post anything else because the delay is going to make this impossible. If I see anything between the numbers, it's going to mess us up. So I'll wait another 30 seconds. So still got numbers coming in. So everybody should have stopped entering numbers by now. So don't even try to enter a number.
How are you seeing the numbers? I'm not seeing any.
There's a little tag you can see called comments. So in the right side of your browser, since you're in the broadcast session.
I see the comments, but I don't see any.
Oh, you don't get to see them because I'm the host. I'm special because I can make up stuff and say things that mean nothing. All right, so we have numbers now. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to, I think now has been okay with the lag. So, Bill, what I need you to do is I need you to roll, or somebody to roll 2 10-sided dice. And let's see what the number is you come up with.
Okay. Bill is doing the 10-sided. Billy's doing the 10-sided dice.
All right.
But I don't see any numbers.
I've got a lot of numbers.
Okay.
Trust me. I've got a lot of numbers.
Okay, here we go. Bill's going to roll the black dice, which is the...
There you go.
Okay, it's 9.
9. Oh, that's a real low number. Okay, so I'm going through now. I'm gonna 9, right? Okay, so the closest so far I see I'm going through is Viper Dave on YouTube had an 8, but hold on, there's a lot of people here. Jeff had a 12, not bad, Jeff, but not close enough. Oh, Martin McCleary had a 7. So, and you rolled an 8? Did you say you rolled a 9? Yes. What did you roll?
9.
9, yes. Just making sure. A 9. Okay, I'm going through. There's a lot of numbers. Okay, let me make sure there's no 10. Let me make sure there's no 10 here because there was an 8. Let me make sure. Okay, so there is no 10. There is an 8. So the winner is Viper Dave on YouTube. Okay, Dave, you've got an 8 and it was a 9. Nobody had a 10 to try to tie you. So you've just won, bloody hell. You've just won a copy of Brotherhood and Unity, which is, again, this guy right here. So congratulations. Brotherhood and Unity is yours now to Viper Dave. So what Viper Dave needs to do, we don't want him to post his address here because we don't want, a bunch of, people coming up to his house picketing for this free game. They're going to try to attack him over a free board game here. So Viper Dave, I need you to do this for me. I need you to send an email to us, and I'm going to put in the email address here for one moment. So give me a second here. So right here, so Viper Dave, send an email to sales@compassgames.com with your mailing address, and we will send you, compliments of Bill and Billy Thomas, a free copy of Brotherhood and Unity. There you go. We survived that one. That one worked out better than the last time.
Okay. Do you still have the numbers?
Yes, I have all the numbers.
Okay, we're gonna roll one more time.
Oh my God! Why do you have to do that to me? Okay, no, people will be excited about that. Actually,
Same guy can't win again. So if we roll a 9 or an 8, he can't win again.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, well, this ain't gonna be good. 14.
Okay, 14.
Which is, I'll tell you.
Okay, 14. 14.
Here's where I make good management decisions. Billy is fired.
Okay, Billy's fired because he's rolling like the same. Okay, so Jeff was a 12. So hold on, I'm going through the others. You said 14. Hold on. There's a lot of numbers here. I'm going fast, but I don't want to miss one. Hold on.
You're so old.
Okay, Jeff M. Congratulations, Jeff. And what has he won, by the way? You didn't say what he was winning. Huh? Another one?
Unity.
So there's because they're brothers, Brotherhood. So it's like, and Unity, it's like 2. I get it. That's genius marketing, Brotherhood and Unity. So they come together.
Yes, I'm uniting.
All right.
Yes.
So Viper Dave, thank you, Viper Dave. Thanks. Send us that email. Congratulations, Jeff. So congratulations. So again, please send us an email, both of you, to sales@compassgames.com. And we will send you brand new copies of Brotherhood and Unity. Are you going to send them the ones with the dented boxes, like the torn boxes and with the little
no, it's all they get. It's all they get is the box.
That's right. We only send them the box. We don't. That's a good point. I forgot. We don't send the game. We only send the box.
I've been trying to get Bill to cut his beard for months now, and he won't do it.
I think it looks great. I'm a big hockey fan, so I love the whole beard thing going on. I think it's totally cool. So there you go. So there you go. So anyway, guys, I'm going to give Bill the last word here. I think I tried to work in all the people's comments. We worked in some that were submitted to us via our Ask Compass Games. Talk to us. So thanks for submitting over the last 2 weeks your questions. Just a reminder. Well, actually, Bill, I'll let you give you the last word, then I'll do the reminders for next week. So go ahead and take it away. I'll let you do the close. Just don't cut out on us, please.
Well, that's it for tonight. And I had fun, and I hope everybody well. And thanks for showing up, and thanks for supporting, and have a good next 2 weeks until we meet again. And now John can talk for 22 more minutes.
Thank you. I'll just need 21, actually. So again, I want to thank everybody for being here. We'll have this recorded and posted tomorrow. As a reminder, we do the bi-weekly town hall meetings with Bill Thomas and hopefully Billy Thomas and maybe even Carolyn Thomas and Julian Thomas in the future. So every 2 weeks, we'll be back in 2 weeks, 8 o'clock Eastern time for our next town hall, number 5. And a reminder, next week we have Compass Games Live, which will be episode, I believe, 37. And the plan is for Thursday night, we might do a 1 hour later start for our special guest. So it might be a 9 o'clock Eastern start for next Thursday. But the big plan that we have in store is we're going to do a pre-order announcement and then cut and segue right to the designer interview of this new pre-order announcement game.
Who is it?
You have to roll the dice. If you roll 50, I'll tell you.
Okay. You ready?
Yep.
50.
All right, it's going to be a new pre-order announcement. Everybody has to keep it quiet. So it's Prelude to Revolution. So we've got a game called Prelude to Revolution, and I'm going to sort of keep it quiet because I don't want to say the designer name yet because I have to confirm that he can do 1 hour later because he's got a pretty hectic schedule. He's on the East Coast as well, but expect to see a new game pre-order announcement. Hopefully it's Prelude to Revolution. It's going to be the designer talking about the game. It's been in the works for about 2 years at least, maybe longer.
And here's I'm glad you brought that up because Prelude to the Rebellion is about the American Revolution, correct?
Prelude to Rebellion was the Canadian.
What's the one the one you're doing tomorrow next week is what?
Prelude to Revolution.
Yes, that's the American Revolution. We did Prelude to the Rebellion.
It's not American Revolution. It's not the American Revolution. Believe it. I know what you're thinking of. There is another revolution. See that we have guys. This is what happens when you have an owner who's gone out of control, and the pipeline is so big with games he can't keep up with. That's why I don't tell him certain games that have got signed because he's already confused. He's talking about another game called War for America, which is another American Revolution.
I'm right on this.
No, no, it's not the American Revolution. It's the Russian Revolution.
Okay, I was close. Yes, I was there when that's what I meant.
So the Russian Revolution will be announced on pre-order next week, and my hope is to have Mike. I'll say the name now, just to defend him because it's not the American Revolution. So I don't want Mike to get upset at me. It's the Russian Revolution, and Mike Wilner, based out of New York, is the designer. And our plan is to have Mike on next Thursday night, but it has to be late to try to fit him in his schedule.
Can I just say something before we cut off?
Okay. Is it about the American Revolution?
Stop. Because here's my point. Okay. Prelude to the Revolution is about the Russian Revolution. Okay. And Prelude to the Rebellion, which is a great game that has not gotten any love at all over the years. Okay, because it's on the Canadian Rebellion, so a lot of people don't like to play that game. Okay, so I think what's going to happen is when people play this game because it has more of a wider audience, they're going to say, "Oh, I want to play Prelude to the Rebellion," because they're both the same system, and I think this is one of those games that is a great game, but just didn't do well. Okay, and I think we actually have the Russian Revolution, which John's going to do, that's on this, and there's another one coming down the road that's being worked on. That's the American Revolution of the Prelude of the Rebellion. You didn't know that one, John? Yeah,
and you didn't know there's another one I've got that's coming too. I can raise your hand by one because there's another one based on the system coming as well. So
I know that one.
Okay.
Yes, I know.
Okay.
And maybe I don't, but I'm going to say I do. So, hey, thanks again for showing up. And me and John have a great relationship. We like the banter.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry you cut out. Yep, you cut out there just for a second, Bill. But thank you so much, Bill.
Yeah, nothing.
Yep. Thank you so much, Bill. So, and we're looking forward to your internet. I've got contributions coming in. We've got a GoFundMe page we're set up for your internet to improve. So thanks to everybody who's contributed money to the GoFundMe page. We're up to 75 cents. So we really appreciate the support.
Thank you. That helps. Every little bit helps.
And then Maurice, our Mo's gaming table, he's got a little bit advance notice heads up. So he knows what your internet's like. So next Tuesday night for Mo's interview that he's going to be doing, he now is fully aware of the internet. So he's gonna have some strategically filled fillers to come on screen every 10 or 15 seconds. He's going to have a little Compass game product he's going to show while you teleport somewhere for a few years and come back with a bunch more games for us. All right, thanks everybody. As always, it was totally ruckus and out of control. But we completely appreciate all your feedback, all your constructive criticisms. We've got some really exciting stuff added to the pipeline. Really great responses from designers in the last few weeks for new designs as well. So I want to say thank you for that. Got some really exciting games to be announced in another month or two as well. So we're just getting warmed up. So maybe as COVID gets whacked and hopefully goes away somehow, we're going to have some really cool game projects that we're going to be talking about in the future. So I'll see you next Thursday night for episode 37 of Compass Games Live. Bill, I'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yeah, and everybody stay safe. And
everybody
safe.
Everybody please stay safe and take care of everybody. And we'll see you again in about a week or 2 weeks with Bill. Thank you, everybody.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
thanks.